This video was made by a machine. Not the script, that part is still me. But the visuals, the motion, the captions moving in front of you right now were all rendered by the same engine that runs a YouTube channel I built to operate almost entirely on its own. This is the story of how one computer in the corner of my room became a video factory, and everything I got wrong on the way there. It started with a simple, slightly stubborn idea. I wanted a content pipeline that lived entirely on my own hardware. No cloud render farms, no per-video API bills, no shipping my work off to somebody else's servers. One machine sitting in the corner that could take an idea and turn it into a finished, vertical, ready-to-post video. Type in a theme, get back a file. That was the whole dream. Local first, automated, and cheap enough to run every single day. Here is the catch. The machine doing all of this is not a supercomputer. It is a home server running Debian, with a mid-range processor, 31 gigabytes of memory, and one graphics card, an RTX 2060, with just 6 gigabytes of video memory. 6 gigabytes. In a world of 40 gigabyte cloud GPUs, that one number decides everything. Every model I could run, every technique I could use, every shortcut I was not allowed to take, all of it flows downstream from that single limit. The constraint was not a problem to solve. It quietly became the design. Phase 1 was the easy part, or so I thought. I wired up Blender to render procedural, perfectly looping, oddly satisfying scenes. A language model to write the concepts, another local model to generate the music. I hit go, the whole pipeline ran end-to-end, and out came my very first short. A rotating chrome donut. Technically flawless. A perfect, seamless loop. I was proud of it for about 10 seconds, until I showed it to someone, and they asked the only question that actually mattered. Why would anyone watch this? And they were right. I had confused two completely different things, the pipeline working and the content being good. I had built a machine that could produce infinite versions of a 2008 screensaver. The infrastructure was real, the output was empty. That was lesson number 1, and it reshaped the entire project. A system that runs is not the same thing as a system worth watching. So I chased realism. If satisfying loops were boring, then surely real AI video was the answer. I loaded up an image-to-video model, the kind that promises cinematic motion from a single frame. On 6 gigabytes, it gave me melting faces, figures dissolving into smoke, and little smiley faces it invented out of nowhere. Beautiful in theory, cursed in practice. Clean, realistic AI video is a cloud-only luxury right now, and that broke my one rule. So I stopped fighting the constraint and started designing around it. And that is when the project finally found its identity. Instead of faking realism, I leaned into the one thing the machine could do perfectly. Clean, minimal, deliberate. A channel about human blind spots. The small psychological moments we all live through but never quite notice. The visual language. Thin white line art figures on pure black. Stick figures, but expressive ones. No melting, no slop. A look so simple that the 6 gigabyte card could render it flawlessly, every time, for free. Then I got ambitious again. I built a self-improving training pipeline. A system that would generate its own images, grade them with computer vision and a vision model, learn from its own mistakes, retrain, and validate itself, all on a loop. The goal was a custom style model that knew exactly how I wanted things to look. And it worked. But it taught me something I did not expect. To train a model on my style, I needed examples of my style, and the base model could not make them. Chicken, meat, egg. So I wrote a plain, boring renderer that just drew the figures with code. No AI at all. And that renderer turned out to be cleaner, faster, and better than the fancy model I had trained on top of it. Sometimes the smartest tool in the room is the one with no intelligence in it whatsoever. A factory has one natural enemy. Everything starts to look the same. So I made the visuals combinatorial. Every video picks a fresh combination: a background symbol, a crowd, a moving camera, a pose, all seeded so that no two videos ever repeat. Then I rewrote the hooks. Out went the abstract, poetic titles that nobody clicked on. In came concrete, second-person moments, the kind that make you stop and think, wait, that is me. Self-recognition, it turns out, is the strongest reason anyone keeps watching. Now I had a machine that could make good videos, on its own, basically forever. Which is the exact moment YouTube becomes the real boss fight. Upload high volumes of automated content with no human in the loop, and the platform will quietly terminate your channel. So Generation was never, ever allowed to touch the upload button. Every finished video flows into a Discord channel first, where I tap a single checkmark to approve it. Only then does it get scheduled. 1 or 2 a day, drip-fed, exactly like a human would. The hard part of an automated channel, it turns out, was never the automation. It was earning the right to stay online. Which brings us to right now, and to what you are actually looking at. The newest engine does not use Blender or diffusion at all. It builds video the way you build a website, with code in React, using a tool called Remotion. Every shape on screen is math, drawn fresh on every single frame. Infinite zooms that fall forever into themselves. Crystals that draw their own edges. Gears that assemble and turn. All in a neon palette. All rendered in seconds on that same 6 GB card. The captions track the voice, word by word. And yes, this entire video, the one explaining the factory, was rendered by the factory's own newest machine. The tool became the storyteller. So what did a year of building a robot video studio actually teach me? 4 things. 1. A pipeline that runs is not the same as content worth watching. Those are 2 separate battles. 2. Never trust the code. Trust the pixels. If I did not look at the actual frame, I did not really know. 3. The constraint is not the enemy. 6 GB did not limit this project. It gave it a style. And 4. Making the thing is the easy half. Getting it seen is the hard one. The factory is still running. It still makes videos while I sleep. It still asks before it posts. And it still gets a little bit better every week. If you want to see what it actually produces, the channel is called Human Blind Spots. Everything you just saw, the visuals, the motion, the captions, all of it came out of that same little machine in the corner of the room. Thanks for watching the factory explain itself.